Well, hello again. This is Bob Weir with the Cross Timbers Gazette. And my guest today is Joel Krause, a candidate in the March 1st Republican primary for nomination to Congress in the 26th District. Congressman Michael Burgess has held the seat since he was elected in 2002. Another candidate, Micah Beebe, is also running in the primary, and he was the subject of my interview a couple of weeks ago. Dr. Burgess recently told me that he will be coming over for an interview soon. You can see many of the candidates running for local elections by visiting the Denton County GOP website at www.dentongop.org. Thank you for being here, Mr. Krause.
Thanks, Bob.
If you would, please give our viewers some background information, such as education, occupation, family, etc.
Okay, thank you. Well, I was raised on a farm in Iowa. My dad managed for 55 years. After that, I went to Iowa State University actually to study political science. But with my economic condition and stuff, I actually had to change my major to engineering so I could have a job. So I got a degree from engineering from Iowa State University. And Westinghouse hired me before I actually graduated, and they moved me to a suburb of Dallas, they told me, Odessa, Texas. And I lived out there for a couple of years, and then they transferred me to Dallas. Shortly after that, Honeywell hired me away. I worked for Honeywell for a couple of years here in the Dallas area. During that time, I started my own business, Web Electronics, which I've had in the Louisville area for about 30 years. We've had up to 45 employees at one time, and we've had an office in China. And at one time, we had about 30 people in China. I've been able to travel the world. I've been to all 50 states, been to all 6 continents, been to a lot of historical places and events. I was in Berlin, in the Wallfeld, for example. I've been at Normandy, and I've been to the concentration camps of Germany and lots of different things. I'm kind of a history buff. I'm very involved in my daughter's activities at schools and things. But I've been in this area for about 30-some years.
And have you ever run for public office before?
Yes, I have. I was very involved in college. I actually ran for the Ames City Council back in the well, it was back in the 70s. It was, had a bumper sticker, planning for the 80s.
Right.
But then I ran for this office 2 years ago, also, in the 2014.
And so you ran against Congressman Burgess
Yes,
2 years ago. How about your activity in the Republican Party in Denton County?
I've been to several meetings, the Tea Party and Republican meetings. I was, precinct delegate, district delegate, and alternate delegate to the state convention in Fort Worth back then. So, fairly active.
Okay, for those who may not know, approximately how many areas are included in the 26th district?
Okay, the 26th district is all Denton County, and then there's a little piece of Tarrant County, that has lit right in North Fort Worth, and it goes up like the Elias Airport, so there's a little part of Tarrant County right down in that area, there on Deer Keller.
What do you believe are the most important issues facing our country?
Well, the biggest issue, and number one responsibility of our country is to defend this country and its citizens. My mom, we went to the Mall of America on Black Friday, and my mom's 82 years old, and she was actually scared going to that mall. So that really bothered me that, my mom is 82 years old, and she's one of the first times she ever told me that she went to a public area and she was actually scared. So to me, the defense of this country and defense of our citizens is the number one priority of our government. Okay, that needs to be done. After that, actually the deficit. In fact, the deficit could be number one because without a sound economic environment and without our deficit, we can't have a strong defense.
Well, if you are elected, in what ways would you deal with those issues?
Well, another issue that we have is the number of lobbyists we have in Congress. We have, with our deficit, we have an 86 disapproval rating in Congress, right? So we need to let people know who's getting elected and who they're being supported by and the lobbyists that are involved, because with our tax code, a lot of things aren't being done in Congress. Even though Americans as a majority want something done, for example, our tax code, 59% of our, since 2011, have wanted change to our tax code, flat taxes or maybe flat tax or fair tax, but it's not being done because the people in Congress are not moving that direction, and because of the lobbyists in Washington. 70% of Democrats, more than 80% of Republicans with term limits. But again, nothing's being done in Congress.
So a congressman is one of 435 other legislators in the House of Representatives. How much impact do you think one man or woman can have on the future of the country?
A great impact, especially if it's the right person. You know, I came from a rural area, rural Iowa, and I can remember my first day of college. You know, we had 29 people in our graduating class, right? And we went to a school of 24,000. You know, during that period of time, you know, I was GSP senator, I was president of this, president of that. So the right person with the right leadership can make a big difference. And we don't have the right leadership in Washington right now. In fact, in coming in a town hall meeting a couple of years ago, I want to know, one question was asked, why did you vote for John Boehner? And the statement was made that, well, no one else wanted to run the job. I mean, that's the type of leadership we have in Washington, and that needs to change.
All right, well, what type of campaigning are you doing? For example, door-to-door, literature mailings and stuff like that?
Well, it's a bunch of stuff, a lot of door-to-door, which is time-consuming, and I'm not sure how many people want to answer the door anymore, especially time at night, but a lot of phone calls, emails, you know, social media. So there's a broad range of things I'm doing.
Oh,
In fact, it's really nice I'm sorry to interrupt. It's been nice this time around. There's been a lot more forums to speak at and things of that nature. I know tomorrow night, Robson Ranch, I think Louisville the next night, but there's been a lot more forums this time around.
So you will be debating this coming week. You're going to be at the Robson
Ranch, yes.
And others are coming up. So there'll be plenty of opportunities for the public to see you in an exchange with your opponents. Is there anything else you'd like to add about your campaign for the nomination?
Well, you know, one thing about myself that differentiates me from the incumbent and the candidate is that is just my personality. Of all my life, I've been a person I've been a doer. You know, I've been a leader all my life, and I've been a doer. I'm not a person that's going to stand on the sidelines. If I see a problem, I'm going to fix it. And also, I'm going to stand up and defend the Constitution. I'm going to be outspoken. And so one of the reasons I'm running for this is to have the pulpit, to reach out to the young people that we're not doing. The average voting age for our last election was 64. And you can see what's happening in the national election, what the young voters are doing, right? They're voting, in a different direction. And we need to have an outreach program for those younger voters and educate the constituents in this district.
Well, you've mentioned a couple of issues, and did you have an issue with immigration?
Oh, immigration, well, you know, it's part of our national defense, you know, strategy, right? We need to do something with immigration, right? We need to secure our borders, right? And people have to realize that, you know, these people that are here illegally are not citizens, and they do not have all the rights of citizens. You know, it's hurting our deficit. You know, it's hurting. We people talk of equality of wealth. You know, well, that's one of the problems because of all the illegals here taking jobs and bringing up to the supply, which, you know, brings pricing down for the wages in America.
Well, I think you've covered a few serious issues, and I want to really thank you for coming here, Mr. Krause, and I wish you good luck in the election.
You know, I really appreciate the opportunity, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for watching.